What's happening, Soul Fam? It is Tarot Tuesday, and this week we're going to be using dice, runes, and a couple oracle cards to really get down to the messages this week. Don't forget to give us a like, a follow, share us with your friends and your family. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and let's get started, okay? So we're going to start off right here in the center. The center here is basically telling us, with the message from Kali, is that we need to be stepping into this place of protecting our abundance. Now, this doesn't mean to get into a fight. This means that we've been working very hard to create something that we really want in our reality. And by doing so, it's here now. And it's our responsibility to take care of that vibration right now, okay? Sometimes we feel like we got to keep going, keep doing. But really, this vibration is telling you that the abundance is already coming. If you've been freaking out about poverty or anything like that, that energy is going to be changing. And the way that we protect what we have created is through 8-hour alchemy, okay? So we have 8 over here and 19 over here. 8 is also telling us about abundance again, not just with this particular card, but it's also telling us to transcend with our alchemy. 19 over here is telling us that we're manifesting a new level up, an upgrade in our reality. Now, the two indicators in the center here, because what we're reading right now is the sun. This is what you are gravitating into your reality with the most strength. We have first the Rahu symbol, or the North Node. So there's a lot of wisdom coming in right now, but it's still a lot of that 2020 energy that is at the cusp of finishing itself off. The 2020 energy is fully going to be out of our system and out of our, general consciousness energetically on March 21st, 2021. That's technically going to be the real New Year's that happens energetically. So this is just like that last sprint. And that last sprint, if we look on the corner over here, there's Jupiter, and on the corner over here is Mercury. That has to do with abundance, and it has to do with how we perceive things in the universe. So this card of Bhuvan Zavari is very powerful with this particular card right here of the dice, because it's telling us, hey, what we've wanted is here. It's been delivered. Now, instead of trying so hard to try to get it, experience living in it. Own the fact that it's already been here, and own the fact that everything else is going to pan out exactly the way you've been asking for it. Just keep practicing your alchemy. Now, what's really cool is, like, when we start looking at the cards over here overall, this card right here is an outer energy that is coming into this reality, and it's kind of like governing the whole entire solar system. This is the Kadaga, or the Sword of Kali. I just most recently ended up making a meditation about this particular concept, all right? So this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I made a video about this particular weapon and how to use it to help ourselves cut away from the things that don't serve us anymore. The cosmic energy on the outside here is really telling us that we need to start cutting the rest of those ties that don't serve us anymore. Whether it's people, whether it's habits, whether it's ourselves, whether it's like situations we've committed to. It's time for us now to cut that free so that we can actually walk on our path and do what we're doing. So if you haven't cut it off just yet on your end, take initiative right now. If you're having a hard time getting initiative to do that, ask Kali to do the work with you, to help you walk through that path of cutting away anything that doesn't serve you. Also, check out that meditation that I'm going to be adding a link towards at the bottom that you can definitely check out, which will help you tap more into this energy right now in this current moment. Now, when we go over here all the way on this far over corner, we have Dakshina. Now, Dakshina basically means gift, right? It means the vibration of embracing and allowing things to come. So right here, we know that all of our finances and all the things that we've created are now in full alignment. We just have to protect them and continue to exist in them. This energy right here is telling you about a gift that is coming, that the divine feminine, the goddess mother Kali, if you want to connect with Kali, is basically telling you that there's a gift that it's on its way. Now, I also did a meditation with this, okay? or lesson with this on Patreon about the star of Lakshmi and the 4 tantric desires. The 4 tantric desires create an X, and that means gift, and the runes themselves. So like the few last lessons that I've been teaching on Patreon in February are really much so in alignment with these energies right here, because I made a lesson about that and I made a lesson about this before we ended up getting here, okay? So it's very powerful seeing how we're already in alignment, especially if you've been practicing what I'm giving you, because this next energy is going to be huge. Now, Dakshina is basically telling you that there's a gift that's coming through and you have to allow yourself to accept that gift. And right across from it, we have a 9, which is telling you allowance. So you need to allow yourself to accept the fact that you've transcended, that things have to move in and out, that you need to probably change as a person in certain areas so you can really be fruitful in this energy that's coming through right now, okay? Now, on this end over here, we have 14, which 14 in Antojai cosmology is basically tied to like the highest vibrations of love that you can. And we have the card here, communication. Now, sometimes we need to communicate with ourselves or other people. Sometimes we don't have to communicate verbally. We just communicate with our actions and the energies that we're doing. But sometimes we think that cutting ties with something might be disadvantageous for us until we cut that tie off and we end up seeing that something else ends up manifesting in terms of abundance for you. So really communicate with yourself, your higher soul, and ask yourself, what is it that needs to be cut? What needs to be evaluated? What needs to be taken out of your realm of reality, and allow that to happen so that a gift can come through, okay? But you have to communicate with that gift and with the truth, okay? Because this is throat chakra energy at a soul-based level. If you can do that, the sun itself is going to allow itself to bring in a lot of ascension energy for you, okay? So it's a lot of good stuff coming so far. Now, this is telling us that the male vibration of the cosmos is kind of like fighting a little bit with the things that are going on right now, the shifts that are going on. There's a lot of chaos kind of reorganizing itself, as it has been for a while already, but it's a little bit more smoother. You may have noticed that the chaos doesn't bother you as much. You just know how to navigate it now because you've gotten used to it. That's part of that Rahu energy. As the finishing touches of the Rahu energy complete themselves towards March 21st, this male energy is going to try really, really hard to fight that change into a new divine feminine energy. And with the divine feminine, she's telling us, don't get swallowed into divine masculine. Understand that the divine masculine is afraid to transition. The divine masculine, you have to grow an eye. You need to basically learn how to see when a person's asking something in divine masculine, or they're acting in divine masculine, if political affairs are happening in divine masculine, if family affairs are happening in divine masculine. It's all about programs and control here. So a lot of programs and controls are being broken down for a lot of people. It's not just at a collective consciousness scale. It's at an individual scale too. You may have noticed that you had certain ways of doing things, and now they have to break through for you to make a breakthrough, you know what I mean? So it's very powerful right now, this energy that's coming through. Now, the energy between this Rahu vibration and the Saturn planet is the number 5, okay? So that's basically telling us right now we're on the cusp of evolving our throat chakra, our wisdom, our shadow, our understanding of the truth, our understanding of the afterlife, of other concepts beyond ourselves. That also has to do a lot with the alchemy energies, okay? So as we pay attention to that, we're going to immediately dive over into the Saturn energy and the Mercury energy, because Mercury is the energy that we're technically walking into on the 21st, and this is the energy that's most impactful for us right now. So when it comes to the dice right here, there's 2 and 1. Our emotions are starting to recalibrate themselves with our existence, okay? So you might have noticed that, like, oh, you want to change something in your life, but you're kind of afraid to change it, because you need to be paying attention to the emotion that you want to be existing in, okay? That's what you need to use right now as a guidance center. Not like, oh, what's going to be most convenient in the long run. What do you want to be existing in? Do you want to be existing where you have to grind all the time to get what you want? Or do you want to be living in a reality that makes things easier for you? You are what you create in your reality. So you have to start using that to your advantage. Again, we have another X here. We have a gift. And this card right here, I love the fact that it just come out. This card comes to this card right here. Okay, so these two are exactly what I was talking about earlier. Saturn is trying to give you a final gift before the end of the year of the Saturn Rahu energy. So you need to follow that gift with the emotions and the existence that it's trying to highlight for you. That's coming out of your shadow for a reason, okay? So you can alchemize a higher reality, but you have to let that be something that you allow. And sometimes to allow that to happen, dealing with your shadow is communicating with your shadow. Dealing with your shadow is cutting things off that no longer serve you, so you can go ahead and embrace this vibration right here. Very beautiful energy. So here, Saturn comes up again on Mercury, okay? At the heart chakra, we need to start working at a heart-based level. Lots of love, a lot of quantum heart energy, a lot of like soul purpose energies happening right now, transcendental energy. All of it's happening for you to become who you really are supposed to be in this lifetime and beyond. Now, this moon energy, it's all about the subconscious. We just came out of like a full moon. So if you did a full moon ritual, or you were really compelled to do so most recently, then you did really well, because it's going to shift something in your heart center. And here Mercury's telling you lots of abundance coming. Again, more abundance. There's a huge gift that is coming to you in the Mercury energy when this has fully been transitioned. All you have to do is understand that there's a couple things that need to be adjusted, accept the gift, follow your emotions, and you will have exactly what you're looking for, all right? Which is a very wonderful thing to kind of like think about and like even just vibrate with. So we're going to go over to Mars is what I'm being told to read right now. So Mars and Jupiter have a lot of like signs and information into them, okay? So first, we're going to start off with these dice right here. We have a 5 and we have a 1, okay? So we have the throat chakra and we have the root chakra. We need to start meditating in terms of traveling and exploring a new reality. What is it that we truly want for our existence? I already kind of like shared that around here when it comes to like your emotions and your existence, but what have you been doing that does not allow you to fully exist at the highest vibration that you've wanted to be? That is what subconsciously wants to come out of your solar plexus mind, and Mercury wants you to put mental ability on it so you can transform it. Now 5 and 1 equals 6. So this is telling you intuitively, your intuition is telling you to analyze your shadow with the way you exist in your everyday life. That's what your intuition or your subconscious self is trying to let you know on, so that you can be wiser and exist at a higher vibration. Because this red dice and this 1 are both, it's like reiterating itself. This double 3 right here is reiterating itself from this one card right here. This double 3 is a 6, and it's reiterating itself over here on this line as well. When we see these repetitive signs over and over and over again, we know for a fact this is something we must do without fail, okay? So here, the blue dice indicate the throat chakra. Again, 5, blue dice, throat chakras. So 3 and 3, listening to the intuitive guidance that's coming through so we can tap into our intuition, so we can exist at the exact vibration that we want to exist at, okay? So then when we're looking at that vibration, we're going to take the rune here, we're going to flip it over. They're asking you, what do you want to become bound to? What do you want to become bound to, okay? That's the vibration that needs to be answered to right now. Now Mars is all about like traveling and adventure and creating things and going places, taking action, going for what is really, most important to you. This Mars energy is very much so in alignment with the Kali energy overall. So like when we start looking at the fact that like, okay, we're looking at this vibration of our existence, our intuition, our mental state. What do we really want to get attached to? What do we want to have like as our foundation, as a center? Do you want to be always at home? Do you want to be traveling more often? Do you want to have more friends because you're not afraid to talk to people? Are you willing to do something different than what you've always done, which is play it safe? Because if you can do those things, if you can choose to be a different version of yourself and constantly live in that vibration, one of the major things that I've been told by Kali most recently is everything you do, everything you are, everything you practice always has to be going towards the same objective. A lot of times people are like, I want to manifest a car. Oh, I want to manifest a house. And they're like, I want to manifest a car and a house. So they put a little bit of energy towards the house, a little bit of energy towards the car, a little bit of energy towards the house, a little bit of energy towards the car. And that actually doesn't give you the exact vibration of what it is that you're looking for. It makes things more difficult and it takes time, okay? Because you're trying to consider vibration of material matter, okay? And then your thoughts are scattered as well. So instead of doing that, think about what would be the most wisest existence from a subconscious level that you could tie yourself to, that's beyond your shadow, that would give you the house and the car and everything else, okay? That way you don't have to scatter your thoughts. That one singular source thought of like your creation, when you meditate, is to that thought. When you walk, it's to that thought. When you talk to somebody, it's towards that thought. Holding that thought constantly in your mind will allow you to evolve and really take siege of this alchemy that we're talking about at the Sun Center, okay? So far so good. It's very good of energy, lots of abundance energy coming through on many different aspects. Now, I wanted to point out here 9 and 9. That's a double 9 as well, both of those cards right here. Basically telling you the evolvement, and 19 being in the center, okay? So we're going to go over to Jupiter. Jupiter has to do a lot with abundance. Here we have the throat chakra again with Mercury. So this one's then repeating itself over here and on this angle, and it starts following itself backwards. Now, we need to meditate on the shadow and bring the shadow to light, because there's something that is frozen in it. So you might have noticed that all of a sudden you were starting to make breakthroughs. You were starting to bring in a lot of money. You were starting to maybe be really happy with yourself. And then all of a sudden something seems to kind of just froze for a minute, okay? It's because there's something in your shadow that is struggling with the shift that you want to make as a general whole. So find what the source cause of that issue is, and then you'll be able to contemplate it and move these other energies so that you can take action towards your gift, okay? Now, whatever it's blocking you towards has to do with your home and your finances. This card right here is very similar to this card right here. It's almost as though you don't believe that you should have what you are looking for, or as though what you want is going to be a little bit more difficult. Remember, what you create is what's going to happen. Difficulty is a creation. Unworthiness is a creation. So it might not be those things, but it's something that's definitely causing you a struggle to get here. And you have to just ask yourself, why does that struggle exist? Or even, what is that struggle in general? It has to do with a power of man, or a lack of man, a lack of personal willpower in certain senses to have what you're looking for. And that comes from this potential of harvest and travel. So sometimes it's scary to move into new territory that's going to bring us new growth, because it forces us to change as a person in general. And when we change as a person, that changes our foundations, and that changes the things that we're living by. And that is usually what is a major blockage in the shadow that we have to contemplate. Is are you afraid of the shift? If you are afraid of the shift, look at that fear in the face and be like, I'm not gonna let you guide me in any direction other than my own. That is true alchemy. Remember what the other cards are saying so far. Everything's good for you. You just need to get out of your own way. This isn't a major blockage either. This is just a simple thought that needs to be recognized. It's not even like a huge enemy that's escaping you or nothing. It's just a simple thought. Now, we're going to go all the way over here to Pluto, where this communication center is really heaviest. So before we do that, though, remember, look at the placement of the cards. A gift, okay, in the Jupiter section, the moment you recognize a shadow. A gift of existence. A gift that is coming from Saturn, that's coming from the shadow, that needs to be acknowledged when it comes to the divine masculine, some program that won't let you actually step into that vibration of allowing yourself to have that gift. That is what needs to be cut off, okay? That could be coming from you or from another person. Now, when we look at these two dice right here, we have 5, another shadow chakra, and a 3, another solar plexus chakra vibration. 5, 6, 7, 8, transcendence. We need to communicate to transcend. Now, if you've taken the Chakra Mirror course, 8, 5, because communication has to do with the 5th chakra, and 2, the Ankh of Transcendence right now, that technique would be beautiful for you to use at this moment. Now, we need to still sit with our shadow, communicate with it, and meditate with it is what we're being asked with this particular card. Also loving it, because 14 does show up at this card and it's telling you, talk to your shadow with love. Don't try to talk to it as like, oh, I'm going to manhandle you into doing something, right? Talk to it in the sense of a friend. Like, why are you doing this right now? If you do that, you're going to bring in a lot of success for your reality, which is great. Like, still great protection cards happening all around. Earth, our foundations. We need to have a little bit more belief and more dominance in our reality. Just because we're surrendering into the divine feminine and the divine masculine has been in control for quite some time, the energy of dominance is not a bad thing. It's not an energy that's solely subscribed to the divine masculine, because the divine feminine can be dominant as well. The divine feminine has a different form of dominance. She has a dominance that is like more elusive, and it transcends along with what's happening in the moment. So allowing yourself to kind of like recognize you still need to be dominant in certain aspects is not always about surrendering, solely surrendering. It's surrendering and taking action when you know that you want to take action. Surrendering, taking action. Surrendering, taking action. That's the foundation that needs to be done right now. So practice having an eye for when you need to actually take action, and that's going to be you basically healing the divine masculine so that you can purify your alchemy. Now, when we look at these cards over here, we have double ones. Okay, both of these ones right here have to do with existence, obviously. Snake eyes and heart. The Venus card has to do with the heart or love. Neptune has to do with spiritual love, and the card that comes down right now is that there is a blockage right now cosmically with spiritual love, okay? Which is something that's really interesting, because a lot of people have been saying that they feel like they're getting psychically attacked by like the government, or maybe they feel like there's a cosmic event happening that's causing distortion, or maybe somebody else sent them a curse in general. They feel detuned from their psychic abilities. This is definitely true in my realm of reality. I've noticed that my psychic abilities are still there. They're operating in a different way than they normally have. So even doing tarot has been a new challenge, because I've had to do tarot in a different way so that I don't become stagnant to my old ways. And that's kind of like what this whole energy of death is about, is like doing things in new ways, thinking in new ways, not being afraid of yourself, not being afraid of death, not being afraid of reality. The spiritual love, the absence of spiritual love that is happening right now is because of this massive change. Just because you feel it at a global scale doesn't mean that you can't practice giving it to yourself more often and giving it to your existence. If you feel like you're not making a ton of waves right now, don't worry about it, because that's what's supposed to be happening right now. You're supposed to be focusing on giving yourself the well-deserved attention that you need for your existence. Allow yourself to have that. Speaking about Venus, we have red dice, these are tied to existence. So these red dice are also going to be in tie here. This one is going to be in tie here and tie here. And then, yeah, that's it pretty much. So 3, the mental aspects. So this is tied over here with the 3s. It's tied over here with another 3. Every number combination that keeps playing out is going to keep showing us where the similarities and what topics are connected. So here they're telling us, focus on your emotions and focus on your existence. Focus on your emotions, focus on your existence, okay? We were told this previously. This is the second time we're being told this in the same reading. Now, why do they emphasize this so much? Because there is a light that is going to be bringing itself into our existence, love particularly. Something huge is on the way. And when we see like this vibration of something huge on the way that's emotionally, existentially different, and we look at this card right here, we're like, oh man, the alchemy, it's coming, oh my God, it's coming. So you need to practice giving yourself that spiritual love so that light can come in. Don't worry about anyone else, worry about yourself, worry about what's most important for you, and that's the only thing that really matters right now. Uranus tells us that there might be a little bit of struggle with our successes right now. Now, that doesn't mean abundance. It might mean creating things that we want. Maybe you notice that you were working out of sync with yourself, and now you need to do a couple things to like be more in harmony with yourself. That's definitely what's happened in my reality. Like, I have all this content that I've like, oh my God, it would be so good if I could put it in this one fashion. And now I had to go through years of content to basically reorganizing it, because I haven't been organized this whole entire time. You might have had a very similar experience where you kind of have to revisit and you feel like there's something in your way from you accepting a higher vibration. Don't see it that way. See any major blockage or anything that's in your way right now as an opportunity to grow and to better enhance yourself, right? I could be seeing the fact that I have to review a bunch of content from the last couple of years as a burden, right? But I'm looking at it as like, oh, well, I'm going to make my courses stronger. I'm going to be able to teach it better. The content can be reused in certain aspects, right? So this is just a moment of bettering myself, bettering everything that I've been doing. You need to have that same kind of mentality, because if you're coming at it from like, oh my God, I got to do all this stuff, it's just going to be the worst, okay? So don't do that to yourself. We have 6 and we have 2. That's 8, okay? Where did we get 8 again? That's right. Pluto, 8. Changes in Uranus as well. 6, the intuition, and 2 are emotions. These 2 cards go very well hand in hand with each other. So if you know this chakra mirror technique, you can even do like a 2-4-6. You can do a 2-4-6-8, and that'll create another like very specialty ankh that you can work with. But this is basically telling you to listen to your intuition, listen to your emotions, use your intuition to guide yourself with what you want to do with your emotions. And don't worry about the success. Like, it's all about perception, right? If you keep an open perception, if you keep a good vibration about your existence, a huge light of love is going to come in and it's going to change your existence with a ton of love. Even though right now you may not be feeling that spiritual love, is going to bring something that you become so attached to, that's going to be a major gift that comes through that changes something else in your reality. So right now, allow yourself to take in all this information. Cut away what doesn't deserve to be in your reality anymore. Accept your blessings. Communicate your truth. Most importantly, communicate in love with your shadow, okay? And what existence are you tying to yourself right now is the main question. Wherever it is that you are not living according to that experience that you want to have in your reality as a permanence, as your permanent state, you need to go ahead and shift that immediately, okay? Don't forget to support us on Patreon. I'm sending you so much love. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Give us a subscribe, a follow, and a share. And I will catch you in the next episode.